differentiate anything at that moment. I couldn't show this because we didn't know the derivative of e to the h or e to x, right? This is just one line. We don't have to do anything. Okay, so I'd like us to practice quotient rule. Okay, quotient rule. I want to look at f of x equals x divided by x squared minus 1. If you're using my method of 1 over 2 prime, you will say 1 prime times 2 minus 1 times 2 prime over 2 squared. Okay, so let's write f prime of x. I will immediately square the denominator. And now, according to this rule, I differentiate the top. What do I get when I differentiate the top?
Yes, 1.
1. And so then I have to write times the denominator. I reach the minus symbol, the negative symbol. Now I have 1 to be copied, and I have to differentiate the denominator. So what will the denominator prime be? And I have to write it here. If I need parentheses, I have to use parentheses. If I don't, I won't. So what is the derivative of the denominator?
Would it be x? Or would it be 2x?
Very good, awesome. Okay, so then I have x squared minus 1 minus 2x squared over x squared minus 1 squared. Do not be tempted to do anything, please. So then I have negative x squared minus 1 over x squared minus 1 squared. I recommend negative x squared plus 1 over x squared minus 1 squared. We don't want a negative leading coefficient. This is how we apply the quotient rule. I would like to look at a problem. I'm going to share my screen and see if I can find I may be logged out, timed out. I probably am, so give me 1 second to go log back in. I'm going to sign out and go back in. Or it's frozen for some reason. Where's my keyboard now? Okay. Yeah, I think I was logged out, timed out. That's it. Let's go back in. So if you'd like to go to 3.2, I want to look at a graph with you. And also there was a problem that I said, don't do it, I'll do it in class. But I have to look and see which one it was. Okay, I'm almost there. Three dot two. Okay, so let's choose either to look at the product or the quotient. They're giving us two graphs. F, I think, is in blue and G is in red. And they want us to determine either the product, the derivative of the product evaluated at 1, or the derivative of the quotient evaluated at 4. Which of these two you want to work on?
B.
B. We want to look at v prime of 4, where v of x is f of x divided by g of x. So let me quickly okay, it didn't work as I was planning it. Okay. I want to print it because it's easier for me to explain what I'm doing and you can see better. It will take just a blink. Okay, so regardless of what we are asked to do, eventually, we have to determine the function first. So I have to find v prime of x. But v prime of x, I see that this is a ratio. And because it's a ratio, I have to use the quotient rule. I am forced to use the quotient rule. So f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x divided by g squared. Better to write it as g of x, everything squared. It's up to you. Both are acceptable. Okay, then I can plug in 4. So now, after I have the function, I'm looking at it. Now I can plug in 4 and say f prime of 4 times g of 4 minus f of 4 times g prime of 4, everything divided by g of 4 squared. Okay, I have the graph, okay, and everything happens at 4. I'm going to start with the easy part, g of 4, f of 4. Let's see. So G is this graph and F is this graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, this is 4. I'm going to post this together with this. So G of 4 is 2. G of 4 is 2. So I have that this is 2, and of course this will be 4. Now I want F of 4. 1, 2, 3. F of 4 is 3. All I need now is the derivative of f at 4 and the derivative of g at 4. Okay, so let's look at f. I use this point and this point, and I get a rise of 2 and a run of 2, 4, 6. So f prime of 4 is 2 over 6, which is 1/3. And it's positive, of course. Now, I'm looking at the g of 4. Still positive. Rise of 2, run of 2. So g prime of 4 is 1. So this is 1/3, and this is 1. And now I have my calculations. 1/3 times 2 minus 3 times 1 over 4. And that will be the derivative, the rate of change of the quotient when x is 4. So I was able to determine this from the graph because they were all lines and it was very easy. There were not all sorts of other functions in which this would have been more difficult, as we did today with so many. 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I have 2 over 3 and minus 3 over 4. So the numerator is -9, so -7/3 over 4, -7/3, and I flip times 1 over 4, -7 over 12. Any questions on such a situation?
Do we have to write the initial part that's like a f prime 4 times g 4 minus 4?
Absolutely, because if you don't have f prime, you cannot determine, if you don't have v prime of x, you cannot determine v prime of 4.
Could we not? So we can't just immediately substitute the numbers.
You can. I guess you can. So you can go directly from here, if you want, but then if you make a mistake here, you get partial credit for this. So careful. Good. I know we only have, what is my phone? I can never tell the time. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, I guess we can stop here.